Hola estudiantes, ahora vamos a hablar sobre los mandatos informales. We're going to be focusing on positive and negative commands. Please have your note guide out and ready. So, we use the commands in order to give recommendations and orders. Let's talk a little bit about how we would form formal commands that are affirmative. When I say affirmative, I mean positive. So I'm going to go through this step by step, and I want you to follow along on your note guide. So the first thing is that you do is you take the verb and put it in the yo form. So we're going to focus on the verb comenzar and dormir. Comenzar, to begin, and dormir, to sleep. So the first thing as I do is I put it in the yo form. So we know that comenzar stem changes from e to ie, so it would be comienzo. Please write down on your note guide. And the verb dormir would be duermo, I sleep. Then what we do, the second thing is we eliminate the o. So you take it off. So I want you to do that right now on your note guide on number 3 and 4. Then you add, for AR verbs, you add a, and for ER and IR verbs, you add e. So I want you to do that on number 5 and 6. So it would be comienza and duerme. So I could say begin or sleep. Begin the work now. Comienza el trabajo ahora. Or sleep after school. Duerme después la escuela. Let's practice a little bit. So right now I want you to take the verb escuchar, to listen, levantar pesas, to lift weights, and correr, and write it as a positive to command. Remember, you put it in the yo form, you take the o off, and for AR verbs, you would just add a, and for ER verbs, you would just add e. So maybe you could try to do it before I show you the answer. So it would be escucha, levanta pesas, and corre. Number 7, 8, and 9 on your note guide. So let's talk a little bit about how we would form irregular positive to commands. I'm going to give you a long list, or not a long list, but there's about over 8 or 9 that would be positive to commands that are irregular. So they don't follow the rule that I just talked to you about. Fill in your note guide as I talk about these. So dar, to give, would be da. Decir would be di. Hacer would be haz. Ir and ver would be ve. Poner, pon. Ser, se. Tener, ten. Traer, trae. Salir, sal. And venir, ven. So we know that dar is to give, decir, to say or to tell, hacer, to do or to make, ir, to go, ver, to see, poner, to put or to place, ser, to be, tener, to have, traer, to bring, salir, to leave, and venir, to come. So when I make it a command, it's like go, say, do, go, or see, put, be, have, bring, leave, and come. These are the most common irregular positive to commands. Right now on number 10 and 11, I want you to write 2 sentences using these in a sentence. And I also want you to incorporate the words on chapter 2, los pasatiempos and deportes. So you could say something like, let's go camping, or I'm trying to think of or do jogging, or do the carpentry work. Use those words from chapter 2, los pasatiempos and deportes. Now let's follow how we would form negative informal commands. So this is a little bit different, so I want you to follow along as I talk about these. So the first thing that I would do is I would take the verb and I would put it in the yo form present tense. So right now we're going to focus on the verb levantar and conducir. Levantar, to get up, and conducir, to drive. So levantó and conduzco. So you put it in the yo form present tense. The second thing that you do is you eliminate the o. So right now what I want you to do on number 14 and 15 is eliminate the o. So it would just be levantan or levanta and conduzc. The third thing that I want you to do to form negative to commands is for AR verbs, you would write ES, and for ER and IR verbs, you would write AS. And you obviously have to put no in front to make it negative. So instead of, so you would say don't get up or don't drive. So it would be no levantes and no conduzcas. It's very similar to the subjunctive, so that's a good thing since we just studied it. So here are three verbs that I want you to focus on. Patinar, to skate, hacer yoga, to do yoga, and boxear, to box. You're going to put these in the negative to form. So remember, first you put it in the yo form, then you take the o off, and then for AR verbs you add es, and for ER and IR verbs you add AS. So let's practice. So it would be don't skate, no patines. I want you to write this on your note guide. For hacer yoga, it would be no hagas yoga. And for boxear, it would be no boxies. Let's talk about some that are irregular as negative to commands. These don't follow the rules that I just talked about, so you just kind of have to memorize them. I want you to write them down on your note guide in the boxes as I describe them. Let me talk a little bit about what these verbs mean, just as a review. Sacar, to take out. Jugar, to play. Dirigir, to direct. Servir, to serve. Tener, to have. Poner, to put or to place. Conocer, to get to know a person. Hacer, to do or to make. Saber, to know a fact. Ser, to be, and we know that's the permanent to be. Estar, to be, it's the temporary to be. And ir, to go. So if I wanted to say don't take out, I would say no saques. Don't play, no juegues. Don't direct, no dirigirás. Don't serve, no sirvas. Don't have, no tengas. Don't put, no pongas. Don't get to know, no conozcas. Don't do, no hagas. You don't know, no sepas. Don't be, no seas. Don't be, no estés. And don't go, no vayas. As you can see, it's also very similar to the subjunctive as well. So let's talk about how we would form mandatos con pronombres, or mandatos that are reflexive. So for affirmative commands, if I wanted to talk about the verb ducharse, the se would morph into te because we're saying you don't shower, and you would say duchate. The same thing, well, it's a little bit different for negative commands. For ducharse, what you would do is you would take the se and it would go before the conjugated verb. So it would be like, no te duches. Please write these on your note guide. For entrenarse, which is the verb to train, you would say, entrénate. For negative commands, you would say, no te entrenes. So just remember, for positive to commands, the te attaches to the end, and if it's negative, it goes before the conjugated verb. So let's practice right now. Just want you to listen. You don't have to write this on your note guide or anything, but the question is mandato or información. Mandato means command. So it is a command, or is it just simply giving information? Is it just like a regular sentence? So number one, if I said, nunca juegas al fútbol los fines de semana, you never play football on the weekends, that's not really giving a command, it's just expressing some información. On number two, I say, compra una raqueta buena para jugar al tenis. Buy a good racket to play tennis. Well, this is a command because I'm saying it to someone. So it'd be mandato, a command. If I said, no juegues al boliche solo, es aburrido. Don't play bowling, don't do bowling alone. It's boring. It's a command, mandato. And number four, hace surf en California todos los veranos. Do surfing in California every summer. That would be información. So let's complete with the mandato informal. I'm mixing up positive and negative, so pay attention to the no. If it has a no in front, obviously you'd be using negative commands. And if it doesn't have a no in front, you're using positive commands. So what some of the other students have been doing is they actually do this before I give them the answer. So it might be a good idea to stop the video, focus on 1 through 9 on your note guide, and then go back and see if I gave you the right answer. So number one says Manuel, don't shower now. Do it at night. So you would say, no te duches ahora, espera a la noche. Or wait till the night. Espera can mean to wait or hope for, so wait in the night. Number two, if you want to comment on a blog, if you want to write, comment on a blog in class. So I'm going to be using the verb comentar as a positive to command. It would be comenta. Number three, don't be lazy and practice more sports. You would say, no seas flojo y practica más deporte. Let's focus on 4, 5, and 6. Oops, I accidentally gave you the answer on number 6. Number 4, you would say, Manuel, don't go camping now. Go at night. So this is an irregular verb in both situations. No te vayas ahora, ve en la noche. Number 5, if you want your athletic clothes to be, if you don't want your athletic clothing to be dirty, throw it in the dryer. So this is you would say, si tu ropa de atletismo está sucio, métete en la llevadora. On this one, you're going to say, don't play chess. Go work in the garden. It's nice outside. No juegues a las damas, trabaja en el jardín. And let's focus on 7, 8, and 9 right now. Number 7 says, Manuel, don't go jogging now. Paint the house. Manuel, no hagas ahora. Pinta la casa. Number 8, si tú eres un jugador de béisbol, if you are a baseball player, collect baseball cards. Si tú eres un jugador de béisbol, colecciona tarjetas de béisbol. Number 9, oops, I accidentally gave the answer. That's okay. Don't be sad, decorate the house for Halloween. Christmas. No estés triste, decorar la casa para la Navidad. So I hope that you understand how to use positive and negative commands. When you come to class, and the next time we meet, we'll do a warm-up, we'll do some practice, and then we'll have a flip mini quiz over positive and negative commands. Adios. Have a great day.